Hola, ¿cómo están? Welcome to this time's building guide featuring LYNEY. In this video, we'll look at his info, kit, tips and tricks, artifacts, weapons, constellations, desired stats, teams, and some gameplay. LYNEY is a really strong 5-star Pyrobow character. He is a famed Fontanian magician who possesses great stage presence as well as gift of the god. Audiences are enthralled by his exquisite skills and they hang on to his every clever word. His birthday is on February 2nd and this is his name card, Pretense. Unlocked as a reward after getting to friendship level 10 with LYNEY, and this is his signature dish, cubic tricks. Starting with his basic attacks, LYNEY performs up to 4 shots, dealing physical damage. Something interesting is that the last 2 shots are actually cards instead of arrows. Now, where LYNEY focuses mostly is on his charge attacks. These have 2 levels of charge. The first, just as any other, shoots an arrow with their respective element. But his second charge level shoots a cat. This deals increased fire damage, it stays on field, taunting close enemies, and when its duration finishes or LYNEY shoots another cat, it explodes and throws a projectile to a single enemy. And if LYNEY has over 60% HP, this shot will consume 20% of it. Each time that his HP is reduced in this way, he will obtain a yellow number with a hat close to LYNEY's head. This can stack up to 5 times and last for 30 seconds out of combat. His elemental skill, Bewildering Lights, makes an explosion in front of him, dealing fire damage and healing LYNEY. The yellow number mentioned before will improve this skill, increasing the explosion damage as well as the healing. His elemental burst, Wondrous Streak, Miracle Parade turns LYNEY into a cat, being able to move freely. This will deal fire damage a single time by enemy, and when its duration finishes, it explodes and deals way too much fire damage with a medium-sized AoE. This final explosion can be triggered before if you press E or the elemental skill. In his first challenge, if LYNEY loses HP and hit an opponent after shooting a cat with his charged attacks, he will restore 3 energy for his burst and increase his damage dealt up to 80% of his attack. His second challenge increases LYNEY's damage against enemies affected with fire, starting with 60% of increased damage. But with each fire teammate or LYNEY, it will be improved by 20%, up to 100. So a mono pyro team will be his best option, but we'll talk about it in that section. His exploration talent will display Fontaine's character ascension resources on the minimap, which is great, considering that Fontaine has just been released and the next characters released in the future will use these objects.
Prepare to be amazed.
LYNEY's combo rotation goes like this. Shoot a max charge attack as to apply fire to the enemy. Chant them and stack his first yellow charge for losing HP. Next, take your shoulder or anima support, then both fire teammates finally take LYNEY back to shoot another cat to lose HP, and activate his first challenge increasing his damage. Activate his elemental burst and keep shooting charge attacks until reaching 5 stacks or until it's possible, without losing too much HP, and finish with his elemental skill with the max amount of stacks possible. LYNEY's stacks obtained after losing HP with his charge attacks last up to 30 seconds, and are not lost after swapping between characters. This helps making his rotations more flexible. The cat created with his charge attacks can explode before if you use his elemental skill, so you can use it, even if you are far off the target. LYNEY focuses on both charge attacks. To make it faster, you have to cancel the animation just as it shoots the arrow, either running to the side or charging another arrow. Even though this is written in the skill, it's worth reminding that the final explosion in the elemental burst can be activated after pressing E. This doesn't count as using his real elemental skill, so its cooldown won't start for using it. You can use the elemental skill when aiming. This will interrupt the charge attack, but it's useful when you need to heal immediately. If you got his signature bow, have in mind that it's really useful for exploration too, providing a lot of speed, even diving in Fontaine. This is a tip related to its bow, because any other bow character can use it, but it's useful. With LYNEY, the most important part of his kit are his charge attacks, followed by both his elemental skill and burst. Because of the amount of damage dealt, they are worth leveling up for nuke potential. LYNEY's best artifact set is Marco's Hunter, increasing basic and charge attacks damage, increasing your crit rate each time that LYNEY's current HP increases or decreases, stacking up to 3 times. If you don't have a good artifact set yet, you can use the 4-piece set of Lava Walker, Vermilion Hereafter, or Chimenawa's Reminiscence. Or you can just equip a mix of 2-piece sets that give attack, charge attack bonus, fire damage bonus, or even burst damage bonus. For main stats, look for attack on Sands, fire damage bonus on Goblet, and crit damage on Circlet. For substats, look for crit damage, then crit rate, and attack. Look for between 2000 and 2500 or more attack. Elemental Mastery is irrelevant in monopyro teams, but if you are looking for elemental reactions, then 100 to 150 Elemental Mastery. Energy recharge is not a problem for LYNEY, because his elemental burst energy cost is not high, and by being in a monopyro team, it will recover pretty easy. So look for about 120, it'll be enough. For crit rate, look for around 40%. This includes his Ascension stat of 20% crit rate. It is apparently low, but his main artifact set stacks up to 36% of crit rate. For crit damage, look for as much as you can, 200 or more. Starting with his best in slot is, of course, his own promotional, the first Great Magic, followed by Aqua Simulacra and Thundering Pulse. For the 4 stars, the Prototype Crescent and the Song of Stillness are good and craftable, so they are free. Then there is the Scion of the Blazing Sun, but it's Battle Pass exclusive. Any bow that has crit damage is great, or crit rate and attack as well. Moving to the constellations, they will be divided into comfort and damage. LYNEY works just fine at C0, but there are some constellations that are worth considering. C1 is comfort and damage. The first fully charged attack every 15 seconds will create 2 cats instead, and LYNEY will obtain an additional yellow stack. C2 is damage. Basically, for every 2 seconds on field, LYNEY will obtain 20% crit damage, up to 60, but it will be reset as soon as LYNEY is swapped. C3 increases the level of his basic and charge attacks by 3, quite useful actually. C4 is damage. It decreases the opponent's pyro res by 20% after being hit with a fully charged attack. C5, just as usual, increases the level of his elemental burst by 3. C6 is damage. When a fully charged shot is fired, apart of creating a cut, it will shoot a projectile just like the one that will be fired by the catch, but dealing 80% of its original damage. In this case, as I said before, there are no needed. But if you are all out for them, the best are C2 followed by C3 and C4. LYNEY's best team is Mono Pyro, thanks to his second passive talent, along with some shield or anima support, so look for damage buffers, sub DPS, shielders or healers. Dia is really good with LYNEY for being Pyro, and her skill increases the resistance to interruption while LYNEY aims. So the other teammates could be Bennett, Shanling, Dia, or even support Shingen. Then Kazuha, Sucrose, Lynette, and Songli, or any good shield. Thoma is not that good in this case, because his shield potential implies using basic attacks and not charge attacks. LYNEY deals a lot of damage with all of his talents, without limits on something in specific. He has a variety of bows to choose from, and even if it does not look like LYNEY deals too much damage in AoE, he does, thanks to both of his skills. He makes good and easy use of the new artifact set, increasing his crit values. LYNEY doesn't have that many teams, focusing mostly on mono pyro comps, and this means that he has some limits for his teammates that can work in his team, but this may improve if more pyro support characters are released. Most of LYNEY's damage is single target with his charge attacks, so he's better against a single enemy. Also, he is a limited 5-star, and with every new character released, the time between reruns can be long.
Let's get this show on the road.
I can't. Again.
In conclusion, LYNEY is a great main DPS, dealing tons of damage. His playstyle focuses mostly on aim shots, which can get boring for some people, but in his case, the rest of his kit make it way more fun. His damage numbers are awesome and easy to achieve, but his team options could be better. But as always, pull for whoever you like. No character is useless in this kind of game where you can build them personally. If you are pulling for LYNEY, I hope that you get him soon, and that this guide was useful for you. If not, what other character would you like to see? Let me know in the comments.